morning, guys.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Guys, this is a actually a serious thing, and it again, this is serious on both sides, with Filipino and American side. And the what I'm getting at is, please try to stay on topic because again, this is a serious matter. It's actually not a laughing matter, so to
Well,
speak.
it's what we wanted to say is that, the legality is these are accusations, allegedly what an American has done, what has happened to a Filipina, a family member, serious. We've been contacted by several people in regards to this since yesterday. And disclaimer, we are not attorneys. We have our legal disclaimer in there. This is not a replacement for any legal advice for her, for him. Also, guys, we have invited them both. We have found him on Facebook. He's been sent a full message hours ago, which would be supposedly he went back to Chicago. So it'd be evening time in the US. And for her, we started yesterday. So we addressed her on her web page. We have put a link to her page inside of the description of all fairness. And we have sent a full email asking her to appear on this live, in full support of her and what she is actually saying of these accusations. And we have a bunch of notes and some footage and different things. We will address people, like George said, in regards to the actual topic. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves, like the other lives go. But it's one of these kind of like some of our others where we will just pretty much be going through the topic and answering, throughout and everything. So we do appreciate everybody being here, the members. I discussed this with George last night, and he said it was up to me if I wanted to discuss this. As you guys know, this is kind of close to my heart because we talked about Randy and why we covered Randy. We got so much love and hate over the Randy situation. They're like, well, it has nothing to do with your channel. Well, actually, I had adults inappropriately do things to me as a young woman, and it was not another family member. So I want to make that clear. But this one also hits home with me because another family member, somebody within my household, something happened to them in Florida also. And both of them were under the age of 9. And there was an older gentleman. We lived in an apartment complex. There was a trailer park in there, surprise, in Florida. And the guy lured the kids in with birds. And he said, would you like to touch my bird? And that's not what he meant, guys. So it made me cry last night, and I'm very disturbed. Um, I don't. There's a lot to say about this topic today, and I hope this brings some awareness. We know Filipinos watch us, and Filipinos we know expats watch. This is probably the same as when we talk about other couples and other things. It's not to bring this serious drama, to bring to reality what does happen, which could have happened anywhere in the world. Correct? I mean, this is something we don't know. There could be a third story. We know that there's different things going on, so we're going to try to cover this. And this is an open discussion for everybody in the room. We'll cover it and then go through and answer how we feel on it. But her name is Rufina, and she has made some accusations against a gentleman named, we're just going to call them by their names, Scuba Chef that used to know Geo, which looks like something happened with him and Geo because on his Facebook page and Geo's page, his video no longer exists. Allegedly, they're no longer talking with each other. I don't know why. Rafina in her videos, which are on her page, so make the decision for yourself. She allegedly goes on about his drinking and his smoking and how she has given up her schooling for him. Correct me if I'm wrong in this. How she had stopped going to school and was taking care of her family. I see where she's referred to as wife and calling the child by another last name. I'm not sure. I don't believe that they're married. Um, I know that their relationship online only appears for about a year, and that's about when we seen her on Geo was about a year
It's
ago.
about a year.
We don't know prior to that. We don't know how they met. Um, yeah, keep an eye to see if she comes into the room. But they've both been
Um,
invited. We'll be going through comments and then your comments also. So I don't know what you.
yeah, no. Now, keep in mind again, both parties have been contacted, and they may or may not show up in the middle of this live. Okay, so
They-
but both parties have been contacted.
Yes.
And remember, right now we only have a
Accounts.
she says
He
thing.
said.
But to be fair, we will analyze it on as if it's both parties. Because again, in all fairness, again, we have to be fair for both the American party and the Filipino party. Okay.
And this will be, how we feel, a community discussion, awareness. And we will say what these other emails have been discussing and what their feelings are. It does not mean there are personal feelings unless I say, okay, he's a piece of shit or she's, So that if it comes from me, then it's my personal feeling, guys. Okay, you guys kind of know how this goes. So, I don't know if you want to cover it and then go through the comments.
I don't know. We'll go through the comments later because again,
if we address the comments now, it takes us off topic.
Because this is a serious thing. Because then we don't want to get derailed or anything like that. But like I said, we're gonna present to you in an objective manner as much as we can, and also be aware too that
Do you want me to go through some of the timeline I have? So the timeline we kind of have is the blogger Rufina has an actual page called Rufina's Journey in the Philippines. Looks to be a channel that's less than a year old. And on average, her views, and I'm going to mention that for reasons, 3.4 thousand, 1,000, 2.1 thousand, 1.6. It shows where she's been going on vacations, different things, family life with this gentleman, Phil. It shows all kinds of different things. And then all of a sudden, we've never seen this channel until yesterday. Then 6 days ago, I'm officially single. And you have that video. And then after that, she puts up a video 1 day ago, my date, and then her community and the photo show looks to be at a salon, her hair being done. And then a day ago, we get this American guy scammed and used me. This seems to be a big thing she keeps repeating, is how she's been used and the money situation. And then she goes into a community post less than 15 hours ago where she has allegedly taken people's advice and filed something against them. But there is no clear thing that she said. She didn't say, I went to the police station. I see in the description, she actually said, let's see, well, you have that. Do you have the individual photo of just that? Or is it in the, yeah, you can pull that up for now. And we'll probably go back over there. Update. Hello, everyone. I filed a complaint against him already, and I gathered all the evidence. I have shown it to the authorities, so I'd make a report from my statement. Been to the police and immigration here. Thank you for all of your support. It cheered me up. When arriving to Manila, we'll report him to immigration. They're also an NBI. So I don't know if that means she'll report him when she gets to Manila, when she leaves on an airplane. P.S. Because of all your support, I've already booked my ticket back home for our bright future ahead of us. Thank you, everyone. So we're going to go through her timeline. She's making allegations. We'll let you guys see this, and let you guys.
Now be aware, and okay, I implore you, hold judgment. We're holding our judgment because first off, it's remember what I always say. There's a he says, she says, and somewhere in the middle. And the problem we have right now is we only have what she says and not what he says.
She's here in the Philippines looking to go back to Korea, something about Korean family. He went back stateside, allegedly. She said he left. I don't know if she's got a plane ticket and she knows he's left. I don't know if he said he's left. She said something about being blocked or something. He's no longer talking to her. There's some sort of blocking going on. So we're going to go ahead and play this as I go through some of your comments and stare at them. So
yeah, and remember also again, hold judgment. Don't be too fast to say, "Hey, he's a scumbag" or "She's a scumbag." Again, it's not what we're saying. It's again, suspend belief until you have all the facts. And honestly, some of you in the chat are reflecting certain.
And I do see where somebody said that she should contact the NBI, FBI, and all that. And if she does have to do that in person. Any reports to immigration and NBI, you may feel you can email them, but when it comes to all files like that, you have to do it in person. You can't just send an email. So a lot of people were wondering if she really did, because it had been less than a 12, 14-hour time frame. Definitely less than a day that she did, but we don't know if she gathered where he owed her money and turned it in, or did a police report. But all of this will be actually necessary. So
Now, first off, too, also, be aware. This is okay. It doesn't matter what country it is. It doesn't matter. The problem we have with police reports is that exactly what they are. They're police reports. That being
And-
said, anybody can file a false, whether it's true or not.
And real quick, our Philippine journey made a good statement, and we said this at the beginning. We have only heard from her. This is her story. This is one side right now.
Right. Now, again, remember that police reports are just that. They are police reports, meaning whether they're true or false, it's not the police's job to fact check them. All the police is required to do is take a report in. Okay, that being said, these may or may not be false allegations. Okay, and remember that. However, the filing of the police report, whether it's immediate or not, does change your outview or outcome of the case. Okay, so remember that. It doesn't matter what country you're in. So a police report doesn't necessarily mean it's true. What I'm saying, a lot of people say, well, if she filed a police report, it may be true, or he filed a police report, it may be true. Not necessarily, no.
No.
Because a lot of, going on, remember, this is unbiased, meaning has nothing to do with this case, but there's a lot of people have gone to prison because of false accusations, which means, again, gone through police reports. So be aware of that. Okay, so
Okay, I want to make a statement from the regular guy. Sarah said further down that he actually did one, and he did. He did this immediately, okay? So this is regular guy's statement. Foreign guy scammed her penniless, okay? Words skewed to prevent from being flagged because it's a sensitive topic. And then inside, he says, this video will be deleted because I don't want this channel to be about this. So he doesn't want to be about the drama, but the video is still up, by the way. 13 hours ago, he put this up. It's important that we support this girl's channel and all the victims of foreigner scammers like this Scuba and his teacher. So I'm assuming when he says his teacher, I'm going to just say it out loud that he's allegedly talking about Geo. Okay. So again, these are accusations, and another channel, this other channel has actually not taken the video down, and he has put her video out. So I'm sure he has reached out to her, and that's fine, that he has actually covered this. And again, we have not heard from him. And, it's really a serious topic either way. They have been officially invited. And like George said, the chances of them coming on and discussing it on either side, we get it. But as we said, you put your laundry out there, which, you've seen me go off on air. Okay. You've seen me and George have serious heated debates. And we've seen the Campbell channel put their stuff out there. Rose put a bunch of stuff out there about his personal business, as how she takes care of him, his medical conditions and all that. This woman has done the same thing too. So now it is in the public and it is out on social media. So we will, go through it and get, down to some nitty-gritty.
we're gonna play her audio, okay?
Officially single. Phil messaged me last night that he told me that I cannot come back here in the Philippines anymore. So he just wanna be in his family in Chicago. So yeah, we decided to separate. It hurts me so bad, guys.
Be aware, she says we decided to separate. It's not he decided to separate, or I decided to separate, or he decided to break up with me, or I decided to separate. It's a we, which means it's both parties, okay?
Yeah.
But what can I do, right? I just have to accept the fact, tell you guys that he's a good person, he offered me to support me still, even we break up already, and to pay this rent, but I told him he doesn't have to. It's just because so he can save money, and if he can help me as well to start over again. Yeah, of course, I can say that he's the best man that I ever be with, and I am so lucky, and Merced is so lucky as well because.
Okay, now bear in mind she says that he is the best man she's ever been with, and basically they're so lucky to basically they've been lucky to have him in both their lives. Okay, these are not our words. These are not Heidi's words. These are her words.
Is the best dad, you know. And everyone says we are so happy together. Yes, we are so happy together. That's true. It's all real. You always be part of me and always be Mercedes dad. Phil asked me a second chance to give him a chance again.
Okay. Also, in this video, in the audio clip, it says basically now in the same video she kind of did a turnaround where she says you heard it that she's willing basically to give him another chance, and then later on she changed her mind, which again she's entitled to.
Phil is always be the best dad for Mercedes. I guarantee you that, hopefully. And I wish.
She said that he was the best dad for Mercedes. Remember, these accusations came way. In other words, whatever happened, it happened a long time before this statement.
And
so,
her
which was
word,
7-8 days
yeah,
ago.
and I quote, "I can guarantee you that," which are heavy words. These are not things that you normally say. As they say in Hispanics, like most Hispanics I've dealt with, la garantía is a guarantee. You know, it's kind of like a word of honor, is a bond.
The best for you, Phil, and appreciate what you have done to us. Everything you help us a lot. You help us a lot, and I do really appreciate that.
Okay, so that's the first clip. Now you heard her say that she appreciates everything. He has helped us a lot. Again, she's the best dad, guaranteed. He was the best man she's ever been with. Okay, now these are what she says in the first video. Okay, so again, just put everything what she says on I guess on the back burner, as it were, and then we'll go to the second video. Okay.
My channel to give us some money to go out for dinner with Mercedes and I, so we can enjoy our life here. Phil access my PayPal account, and I received an email that he transferred my money from my PayPal account to his account.
Yeah, the PayPal account showed a $50 amount, but it did say his name, although it said Scuba. Without passwords or it belonging to him or her, maybe they shared that information. So it looks like in the first video, there was a bunch of support, and I don't know, I'm kind of stuck on that one. But they're on her page, it shows it's his name on there. Again, I see a bunch of people talking about merged accounts, and there can be multiple accounts on one YouTube thing. And I don't know why he would have an account and she would have an account and then merge them together when they're not married on one YouTube account. I could see if it was like George that started 2 or 3 other channels and then he put it on his. So I don't know about how merged the accounts were, but I guess that's besides the actual point. The other one is the PayPal account. And she's showing one amount. She doesn't show a balance. She doesn't show, but she did show $50, and then it showed his name. So, yeah. Here we go.
After that, he blocked me already when I confronted him. And then even his daughter called me as well, that he told me a lot of bad stuff, you know, and I've been so nice to them. Honestly, it's I don't want to disclose any bad stuff about them or about our relationship, but I have to do it.
Okay. Now she says, remember what I says about airing out laundry, okay? Now, she's the person airing out the laundry. Now, in her own exact words, she feels like she shouldn't, but she has to. Does she? That's a serious question. The reason why I say that, for the most part, if it's legal matters, airing it out in public is actually the worst thing you can do. Okay? And anybody who knows anything about legal proceedings or anything like that knows that. Okay? It's not a popularity contest. It's not. It never has been. Legal matters is never a popularity contest when it comes past the courtroom.
It's just because I really need your support, guys. It's just because he promised me that he gonna pay all the bills here and pay our ticket back home. But how?
Now, to clarify on that, on the first video, it probably played while we were doing with some audio here. She actually, Scuba Chef says if she could support her when it comes to rent and some other things, and she actually says no. So Scuba Chef said if he wanted to support her, and we're remember this is her own words, and she says no. Okay, so now she's basically saying he's not supporting me now, but guess what? She did say no. Now this may not seem important to some of you people. However, remember, no is no, and nobody's going to force themselves on whatever they offer you. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are. If, let's say, Heidi fix me food and I say no, I have no right to be upset with her if later on I'm hungry. Okay.
Yeah.
Can he pay that now if he blocked me? And what happened, our relationship is, this is the beginning. When my sister from Korea come visit us here, my sister said that he's a good father. And then he just so selfish. He drinking every day, smoking. You know, he only care about himself. But yeah, I stayed with him just because I do understand that probably he gonna change in the future. That's what
I have to pause that because honestly,
If somebody's already got those habits, allegedly,
well,
then they're not going to change them.
one, yeah, they're not going to change him. Two, that does not make a bad person. I mean, drinking and smoking does not necessarily make them a bad person.
Kind of like George knew I was a bitch in the beginning, so no surprise when I pop off sometimes. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, yeah, I mean,
True. I mean, people's stripes don't change, not normally.
in fact, actually, and again, I'm not trying to.
And it may seem all fun and games in the beginning when he's smoking and looking cool and drinking a few drinks at the beach. And it does look like these guys had a good time, according to their website, their Facebook. When I say that, I mean Facebook and their YouTube and everything. Looks like all things were merry until this actually fell apart. It's
Right.
everything looked good.
And remember,
on paper.
one man's vice does not necessarily make them evil. What I'm saying is, one person may find smoking 420 okay. One person may find drinking alcohol is okay. You guys get my point. It's does not make a person necessarily evil. Okay.
Right.
I'm thinking. So I put out all his crap. I don't really care about him anymore. I only care is he has to pay all his bills here. The biggest thing that I want him to pay.
Okay, I noticed, and this is the first, George saved this video, the fact that she said that she doesn't care as long as he pays the bills. Mind you, the first video to me reminds me of Scorched Earth. She's telling his business, I'm single. She shows all of her, even in her thumbnail, she shows a bikini, I believe a bikini photo on that one. So I'm single. She wears glasses and kind of sounds tearful. Then here she is less than a day ago. Now, maybe she recorded this 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and been doing things. But the fact that she said, as long as he pays his bills, that one thing I keep hearing over and over again is how she's financially devastated. So, yeah, so we'll kind of still go through that.
And this will come into play later on, and you guys will see. And some of you who have watched this video will eventually like, yeah, I noticed that too.
Is his cell phone, because he uses my name to loan a cell phone, because he cannot loan a cell phone here in the Philippines, right? Because he's a foreigner. So I allow him and agree with him that he can use my name so he can have a new cell phone. It's just because his new old cell phone, it's still okay, but he threw it away. So of course it is mashed in the floor. Don't ever date someone who is have mental illness. He's so crazy. He's a user. It's just like he used me and left for nothing. When my second sister, my older sister.
Okay, now at this point, I believe I didn't edit anything from this point to up to the end of the subject, and the reason being because I wanted you guys to hear the whole thing with no editing, which means I did not manipulate it in any way. The audio at this point, to a certain extent, is unmanipulated, and well, she did do some edits on her own, mind you. If there's an abrupt thing, most of the time it's actually her editing because she did edit her video.
She did edit. And one other thing, I want to mention a few military people, including one of our members, gave us an idea. Phil is ex-military, and we thank him for his service right off the bat. Supposedly, allegedly, he's disabled. and he's collecting a possible pension. As we're to understand, that probably consists of a few thousand USD, and it does look like they're out doing vacations and doing a lot of things and taking care of the daughter. They look to be middle to upper class here in the Philippines and doing their thing. Again, we're going by her current Facebook, his current Facebook, people contacting us, and her own account is what we're actually going by. So, but it sounds like he had money, so I'm sure his pension's way more than ours, and we get by. We wouldn't be asking, we wouldn't be like, hey, I need a phone to somebody if we've already got partial income, unless it was really bad. But later, and I don't know if it's up and coming, she also mentioned she dropped out of school, and she does put a blame on him on this
Okay,
also.
now I edited that out because again, but just real quick, now she dropped out of school. Now for reasons we
Hey,
don't
Mango
know,
Shake.
we don't know why she dropped out of school. I'm not sure if it's financial or if it's because she wants to spend time with family or she just doesn't want to do it. Again, that part I left out because again, we don't know. We don't know. I don't know. I doesn't know. Most of anybody in the YouTube world doesn't know.
Yeah, Hillbilly Asia further down said it's that 1,200 USD Army vet disabled, but we heard it could be 3,000.
3,500.
Yeah, remember that's a high
Yeah,
estimate,
actually.
but I'm
Yeah.
sure that it wasn't just at a 1,200 mark, not going
No,
to all
no,
these
no. I'm sure it's not
places.
just
He had to
1,200.
have a
No.
different income than actually that. But I don't know if anybody in the community that's in here now knows anything about Geo and
Well,
him, what the
personally,
falling
yeah.
out is. Right. Well,
Yeah.
people could have seen him and, allegedly what happens to let the room know. So, and guys, by the way, we do appreciate everybody commenting and coming into the room today. Just make sure that you guys do a thumbs up or a thumbs down on this video before you leave. But we do welcome everybody. And thank you to our members. Our Philippine Journey is in the house. Barry and the PI. Ted, thank you for moderating. Scott, Hector Gubert is in the house, and California Bear and others. And we'll address you guys here in a few minutes. We're almost done, and we definitely want to get into the skivvy nivvy here. Hey, Dallas, hello.
Come here and visit us as well. When I wasn't home that time, so only three of them here. And my sister told me before she go home that Phil touches private part. So, and then when I asked Phil, he denied it. Yeah, when I
Okay. Now,
Well, I would play. She finishes saying that she stayed with him, doesn't she?
okay. Now, there's several issues I have here, and first off, again, it doesn't matter whether this allegation actually happened or didn't. Point being, if that was my, my relative, whatever, I will not, one, mention them in public. Two, won't mention whatever happened to them in public. Okay? Remember, one, it is a minor. It is a child. You do not put out their laundry for your interests. Your
Right.
child goes before you. I'm sorry. That's how it works. That's what parents' job is.
And if it is, I get that she says that he's left the country. All I hear from this Filipina is how her finances is upside down. And I get it's a big deal, but I will live on the street to hunt down that dirty dog that would have done something to my child. And if my sisters, okay, mind you, it's been 7, 8 days already since her original video where she's telling, that he's gone and all that. So we don't know if this happened a year ago that her sisters told her this or whatever. You don't allow the man, regardless, you put up that fight. I'm telling you what, I'd have knocked his teeth out. That'd have been the bottom line for me. There would have been mob justice. I would have gathered every Filipino from one side of the island to another and did whatever I had to do to bring something down. And I sure the hell would have brought the police. So we get that people freeze up. I have been, the same thing happened to me when I was babysitting. The gentleman did the same thing that she's alleging, but 10 times worse. Okay, I can't say the word because of YouTube. And it happened to me when I was babysitting and I was under 14. Then it happened also when I was 11. I got scars on my wrist because the gentleman, I had to try to get away from him. There was glass on the ground. I got cut up really bad. So in the middle of an act, it's happened to me twice. So this actually hits home with me, and nobody deserves that. But right now, in my opinion, personally, I told you guys I'd give my opinion. Both sides have major issues if this is what happened. And the mother is responsible for her child at that point, because as I'm to understand, that is not his child. I'm assuming
No,
This
it's
is
not.
a
It's not. It's
stepchild. They weren't
yeah.
married. They've been calling each other wifey and all that, but I don't see that they're actually married, nor has she said we are officially married. So it's a stepchild. So in my opinion, she is still responsible as that single mother dating a foreigner for her child. And look out, you make sure things aren't left to be chance. Whatever happened, she knew about it, and in her words, she stayed. So we're gonna complete this video
Well,
out and
let me expand on this more, because again, this is actually the critical point, and unfortunately, remember that Scuba Chef isn't here to defend himself,
correct.
or
They
nor is she here to actually expand on
And
the
I want to
subject.
let you guys know once again, being there are more people in the room since the beginning. These are accusations, serious accusations that allegedly happened from a Filipina. Her channel is Rufinas Journey. We have put a link in there for you guys to make your own decision. She's put these videos out the last few days, 8 days ago, saying she was single and how he left her and left her financially devastated. And we just started hearing about it in the last couple hours to last night. And the reason we are is, remember, when one person, like, we have 20 people that surround our channel. We've discussed this. And I'm assuming now it's the regular guy that initially put out the video. We didn't know who she was. And a lot of people start contacting her. And then, as I just told you my story, it became something personal. But she, I mean, I'm lost for words at, the comments that have come through, the comments on her channel. To me, they appeared to be altered because there's nothing like questioning her. And why would she leave questioning comments possibly? You did notice that, right? All of her comments are, so sorry this happened and all this. Not one person is, we've been thinking, or any of our people have actually, like, everybody in here is commenting the same thing, what if, and it's a very sad situation. So this is allegations. We have offered both parties to join. They've been both contacted through Facebook Messenger. That is working. She has been contacted through email, and I made a comment that was accepted because she hearted the comment on the actual update that she did some reports, but she didn't go into details what the reports was. Did she report that he didn't pay for a cell phone? Did she report that he took something from her? She didn't say totally what she had done. So we have reached out to him. So I just want to let you know that they've both been contacted, and just not an hour ago either. So
Okay. Now, again, the issues with this allegation. One, again, remember, he's not, Scuba Chef isn't here to defend himself. Remember that, again, here. Anyway. So, hold on, I'm trying to backtrack to where I was. Because again, this is a serious matter. It's not something you guys can't just, say stuff without thinking about it or constructing a statement. Now, remember, she put out her laundry about not just her, about somebody sensitive, which again is something you don't do, not to a minor. Okay, remember that. Whatever you do, don't do that. And also, the issue with this is the witness. Okay, now the witness is the sister. Okay, the older sister. The issue is not that the witness is the older sister. The issue is, some of you may or may not disagree with this. If the act was done in malice, why did it occur in front of the sister? If the act was done in malice, why did it occur on a sister that's not just a regular sister that stops by every day? This is somebody that randomly comes over. You know what I'm saying? This is a special event per se, that she doesn't come by every day or anything like that. Why did it happen that day? Why did it happen in front of her if it was done in malice? Okay. And next, the fourth point is, if it was done in malice, and if it is as serious as stated, why was this not reported during the time or right after the time of the incident? And okay, well, you know what I mean? Why? Why did it now all of a sudden, out of the blue, now that he's gone, why is it coming out of the woodworks?
yeah, because from what I'm to understand and gather is that this happened a while back, but she just dealt with it. And we'll get sides that'll say that she was scared, nervous, broke. And she couldn't have been that broke if she's making an accusation that she paid for all this stuff. So I wouldn't say that's why she didn't report it. And unless there was other allegedly, altercations with them, or there's a lot of questions that have been left actually open.
Right.
So
And again, neither she or Scuba Chef have appeared. They both, again, have invitations. They both have links. And unfortunately, neither of them decided to show up. But again, that's fine because, again, we're trying to be objective as possible. As you can see,
which is
we're showing both sides.
somebody, Steve, further down said, I personally watched an episode of their channel where he got drunk during the video. My worry is if he did inappropriately things to her daughter, then he says he's pissed. My question would be is why did she mention a while back in the beginning that she knew about it and then didn't do anything? That would make her just as guilty. And in the US, and I'm not even sure here, and I'm sure maybe other people know, in the US, they would actually
They'll pull
they
her
would
out.
pull the child for her
DCF will
knowing.
pull that child out because the woman is just as responsible for not allowing it to
And
happen.
knowing it. So, which we're not saying that either side is guilty at this point, but if it is what it is, and this really all went down, then she's also in danger of doing all these reportings and all this stuff going down. And now she's made it public. And of course, these are now public, it's public videos. It's now being discussed. She evidently wanted it out there for other reasons. It looks like she's gaining numbers and views. It looks like she's gaining something financially. Where people have sent her enough money to, I'm assuming, go back.
Told me that a little bit, So and then feel I think that's the reason why also why you don't go back here in the Philippines. Why you feel guilt what you have done, and then he cannot talk to me face to face because he is scared to go to jail. I only want from him is to pay all his bills, all his loans. That he uses my name, and that's all I want from him.
Now, from the start of that accusation to even a little bit after this point, that part wasn't edited. What I'm getting at is,
All I
if
want
you
is
were
for
a
him to pay the
mom,
bills.
if you're a mom, you want justice done, not the bills paid. It would be the opposite. As a mom, okay, I'm not a mom, but if I were a mom, I'd be like, screw the bills. You know what? I want justice for my such and such.
Correct. And Terry, you can be as neutral as you want to be on that, and we appreciate that until there's evidence. Well, she's actually giving evidence, and that's what we're responding on. We said in the beginning that neither party has been found guilty. We're just going to make this a discussion. But we're putting out there what she's actually saying. She wants her money back. And as of the beginning of this video put out, she had not reported him. But she's now claiming, thanks to everybody's advice, she did report him. And that's fine. We're not saying that the guy is guilty. We're not saying that she's guilty. And we're just saying the story that's been put out there and the concern of our viewers and covering this. And I'm not going to feel where she's actually been, I'm neutral. I get that until the evidence. You're right. We're not the court of law. So that's
No, we're
for sure.
not. We're not.
Most definitely.
And no, it's not defaming either.
No, Howard
Because
King,
these
it's
are
not
stuff
defamation
that
by far.
one party said, and actually we're not actually taking sides. So no, not by any chance it's
Nope,
defaming that one.
Nope.
I just want him to pay all his bills. It's just like, it's so embarrassing, but he's a big liar.
It's embarrassing. Guess who decided to mention all of that?
Terry says you were wrong. You would want both. That we would, I'm assuming, the money and it to be done. But this didn't happen 8 days ago. And even if it happened 8 days ago, why didn't this all get reported 8 days ago?
Well, first off, it didn't happen 8 days ago, but she did
Even
allow
if
it
it
to
is
happen.
8 days ago.
Victim
but
or not.
she knew before he left, and she has not stated when he left. Okay, that would be a point that it happened. She knew before he left. He was still in her household. When this
Yeah,
all
and
came
in the
up.
U.S., again, they would basically have an investigation done on her as well because she basically, did not report it.
Mm.
Yeah, and also,
I just want to get over it so we can go through.
He's a user, he's a scammer. He just uses me. All I want is just to pay his bill, that's all. Guys, if you give me some help, I do really appreciate it. It's because right now, I don't have any money left to buy our own ticket now because he gets all the money from me also. So yeah, all I want if he's watching this, all I want you to do is to pay all your bills and all your loans that you use is my name, it's your responsibility. Don't run away with your responsibility as well. One more thing that you have to know, everyone, because you always run out of money, so I have to do, ask my family, I always ask my family almost every month. I ask them to help us just because I don't work, as you can see. I'm taking care of my daughter. So just because you're always drinking every day, always smoking every day. So yeah, you always ask me to borrow money from my friends as well. And then at the end of the day, he don't pay them. I have the one to make way to pay them. So I have to ask my family to help me to pay my friends. Just because right now I am so done. I just want you to pay all your bills. That's all you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's something amiss because according to her Facebook, they've been doing nothing but vacationing and a lot of things going on in there, guys. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. So again, we're presenting to you what. Bear in mind again, most of this is what she says. Okay. Now it's up to you to discern whether, again, it's not our job to. We're not judging neither parties, but there are questions that are brought up on both sides. Unfortunately for Scuba Chef, if you're watching this, you probably, again, depending on your, if you have some legal team behind you or anything like that, if you do, if they, the thing is with legal matters, so serious as this, usually a legal team will advise you to zip it. Okay, because whatever you say on social media is usually detrimental to the case, whether you think or not is helping your case. And this applies in the US and in the Philippines. Remember that.
Right.
Okay, now this one I'll probably read aloud. Now, reading it, you could probably tell this is actually an old message, it's not a recent one. Because this looks like an early on in the relationship. This is a message sent by Scuba Chef's daughter. Okay. We did
And
blank
yeah,
out certain words.
because supposedly the allegations were it happened to her too. So she was wanting everybody to see that it was alleged that he had done this before to his own child, or she's older now, she's an older adult. So yeah.
Okay. So it says, have fun marrying to a bleep. Hope you guys get money you need. Okay. My dad won't even take care of me. You think he's gonna be there for you? Come back to me in a year, which actually ironically this is about when it was. When his kids, just like he tried to do me and his brother did to me. You wonder why I can't have a relationship with him. Have fun though. Hope the money's worth it. And then he called her an expletive name. And again, this is not a recent message. Actually, this is somewhat, again, like a very old message. You can tell from the wordings, like, you know, but in the video, if you guys pay attention, in her own words, she says that this happened, and then his daughter messaged me, and then she puts up this message. But you can tell just by reading the message itself, it's not a message that was sent later on. It was sent earlier on, during early stages of the relationship, only because of certain wordings were used. About
Real quick, our Philippine journey further down addressed this direct, and hi, Mike and Arlene, said, is it possible there could be a case against her for not reporting it immediately? According to law, that's what would happen. Definitely in the U.S. here, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with
negligence.
DSWD. Yeah, that
That's
she,
negligence.
even if, like somebody said in here, that it was just, even if it was, the soonest we seen her is about 8-9 days ago saying something. So even if she delayed it by 8 or 9 days and knew it, we know that can't be the case either, because she said that, it was when her family was there and when, and I can try to see if I can pinpoint that, because she did show when her family was there. Her family did come in from Korea. So, so she knew about it when the family was there. So.
Hi, this is Dave says, regular guy blames Geo on the Scuba Chef guy for leaving Rafia. Now, I don't care who says, whatever. When it comes to relationships, you can't blame anybody, honestly, other than the two people in the relationship. Okay. The only reason why a couple would break up is because there's some issue between the two. No third party would cause a breakup. mean, unless of course the third party is like somebody who got involved literally with the one of the people in the two parties. Ryan says she said her family's from Cavite. Wandering Explorer says she says she's going to Manila to live with her family. Her sister lives in Korea. We all know that there are two sides of the story. So offer an open invitation. No, no,
We
you
did.
have
There was
both there. Yeah, up until we close this live, they can
and we sent
essentially
this
jump
out.
in and,
Correct.
and talk.
And there is. So we're in contact on Messenger with both of them and an email. And we'd be more than glad to run another one if she wants to come on. She is aware of us as of about 7 o'clock. Our comments are in there, guys. It shows where she did the thumbs up and a heart. So she definitely acknowledged us. So if that wasn't there or she deleted it, then we know she read it. She's read it. I gave her the email. She's aware of who we are. And I'm just saying that the invitation is there. This isn't like we just like closed the book and didn't say anything. And again, yeah. I find it her tone about her daughter. I just need him to pay off the bills. What about your daughter? Mental health, if it was true. I don't believe her story on her daughter. There was no tears. And at that time, no report, which she only mentioned after she could mention she got the ticket that she's done the report and everything. So there have been where people have made that comment. So we hear you, Mango Shakes. And it's good to see you again. She's living off the expat till he got tired of her lazy.
Mango Shakes Philippine says he may have unpaid bills. That believable, but the story on her child, BS.
Always
she just wants the lifestyle and money.
We said that it can be expensive to live in the Philippines. If you have a $3,000 budget, 2, 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you could have had a housekeeper, a driver, and everything else on that kind of money. Now the average income, it would take, somebody said the average income right now to live decently in Dumaguete is about $1,800 US. Can't really live decently in the US on that, but $1,800 in Dumaguete. But before, you could have got by on that 1,000 budget 5 years ago. Not anymore. But you'll still hear people putting out those stories. And we say we average anywhere between 15 and 2,000 for us. So, but we have the cats, medications, medical, we're self-pay and all that. So,
Easy and that's all she said. Easy and Chris, class is ace of expat. Gets tired of Filipino, leaves. Expat gets tired of Filipino, leaves Filipina. Filipina makes allegations to get him kicked out or removed from the country. Crowd mentality. If you can't have him, no one can. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. It's scorched earth, as I would call it. If I can't have you, nobody can. Terry Cross says I'm inclined to believe her until I see evidence of the contrary. Please don't demonize victims. Now, here's the thing, Terry. We're not demonizing victims. Again, this is done in an objective manner. Be aware that there's no difference that a lawyer will talk to her and say the exact same things that I am talking to her as well.
We're just answering, going through, and
a lawyer is still going to say whether it's the persecutor or defendant. They will, even the defendant, the one or persecutor, meaning the one on her side, will still say, "Hey, why didn't you report it right away?"
Yeah, same thing's going to be said. And again, we're not going through anything more than she hasn't already put out there. We're not like ad-libbing things. We're not the ones in the discussion making the statements. We're reading them. And it's kind of it is an open discussion, and we said that in the beginning. Nobody's found guilty. It's kind of it's kind of like people's court. Dun, dun, dun. These people have not been found guilty.
No, nobody. Now, again, same thing, Terry. And again, it's not against you or anything. It's this type of mentality.
There's always a few people that will come in, and it's understandable that you're.
What I'm getting at is, ever heard of the saying that in prison they say, "I'm innocent." I tell you, I'm innocent. I'm innocent. There is a good percentage of innocent prisoners all over the world.
And let me tell you why that is. When people go to court in the United States, they are offered a plea deal. And as of right now, 80 to 90% take that plea deal. Why? Because even if you're innocent or guilty, if they take you to court and go through all that and you're found guilty, you'll get the 30 years, not 5. So they'll take the 5 and they end up in jail. So it's a very same situation. So these people, and we said in the beginning, are not, neither party is guilty. They have been offered to come in here. I'm not going to go through and explain why we do this on our channel.
No, I mean, again, remember,
Terry, brought to our attention, and we live here in the Philippines. We're covering it. So.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to be accused, keyword, accused of a crime, and then they'll go through with it, and then
and it doesn't mean like we're supporting one side.
No, it's not.
You got a Filipino and an American, so we both have that.
You went broke and left. And as veterans would say in the room, would say, how's that possible? He should be making at least 3 grand, 3,200,
Not cheap
3,500
to live here, not going to
3,600
Palawan.
in
It's
dollars.
not with
Okay.
a kid.
Yeah. So again, I'm not saying he made that up. I'm not saying that, but be aware that you have to take everything what everybody says with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt. For those that are contacting and those that are in the room and interested in all that, that there is two sides to the coin. But please, as we've told you on other channels and listen to other expat advice for moving here and everything, use your own decision. For those that are sending money to these other channels, what I call simping channels, or channels where they're asking for, and I mean literally asking for $900 to help you move somewhere, to Thailand or all that, make sure you check out their entire situation. That kind of puts your comment out there. Go back to your channel and wait a few more days to release a video. Really?
Yeah.
Right? That's a both staring.
I can't even comment without. Again,
Right.
if you.
But they know who they are coming in and trying to.
There's a difference between manipulating the truth to your own agenda versus whatever.
Correct.
I'm really not into that, nor would I waste my time on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. Disappear for a few days, create another channel, disappear for a few more days, go on to a couple different other platforms, do all the whatever, and then come on into somebody's channel and say one statement, then come in with something else. So whatever.
That was very unprofessional, regular guy. Now, what he's saying is, in Frank Ellis' opinion, regular guy is somewhat biased, and it is his channel. He's entitled to, or allowed to say, well, I'm not saying allowed, but he's entitled to say whatever he wants on his channel, whether he's biased or not, and that's his channel.
Yeah, we don't know that he knows. It's always to some point where people will hang on the Filipina side or the other side. We've heard everything from last night that, there was a big fallout with him and Gio. Can't stand that guy. That, that's all about manipulating the Filipinas. Then we've heard everything about the Filipina is using everybody to get money, and it's all a scam. We've heard scam. We've heard scandal. And once again, from the very beginning, we've said this isn't about taking either side. It's presenting something and showing, with the people, which is in a full discussion right now, what's actually going on. So get to the cause rent is due and going to keep the lights on here at Philippine Antics headquarters, and I'm going to have George and them kittens neutered next month. You ready to be neutered? I wonder if they really could neuter you. Honestly, probably.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
I mean, they can castrate guys. Neutering is not that far off. They do because of prostate cancer.
I know that. I'm talking about the vets.
Oh no, of course not. They're not going to do that. That's against their code.
I bet you for 20,000 pesos
They could lose their vet license. I mean, they work hard for that.
You never know.
Anyway,
for a price.
Filing with the police.
I just put a rubber band on it.
Right, let it fall off. Let them grow black and then fall off. Filing with the police
is where you're at already.
Right. Filing with the police is the first step. The next process is hiring a lawyer to draft and file a sworn complaint affidavit with local prosecutor. Yes.
Yes, you have to actually go in and physically do all this. If it said that I sent a message and did this and that, that was funny. We had somebody a long time ago that claimed in the United States that they contacted somebody and had, what's his name, Randy, taking care of them. We're like, that requires a physical appearance to do those types of requests and reports and all of that. When it comes down to those serious accusations, you have to. So
right.
Okay. Great. I'm assuming his name's Great Kill at the bottom. I made a comment on Gio's channel and I asked him about Phil. He responded that they stopped talking 3 months ago. So that's what we heard. We heard that there hasn't been any.
Yeah, there's a fallout. So
there could be a few scenarios.
There's a lot of things going on.
Possibly, allegedly, it did happen, and being she did delay, and the family knew about it. Maybe she won't at all, and now she's kind of just telling people on YouTube. Maybe it allegedly didn't happen, and this was just to get some assistance and scorched earth. There's 3 or 4 scenarios this could actually be. It's a sad situation because it puts her out in the community amongst the expats that'll see her go by. It will be where it puts him in problems if he comes back. Anybody that he dates could be a problem. Anybody that she dates could be a problem. She may find it harder to possibly date from here with that situation. I mean, eventually everything's found on YouTube for sure.
Right. Now, bear in mind, okay, again, we present this in an objective manner. Be aware, I'm going to put you up there, Sex Pat Task Force. Now, first off, Sex Pat Task Force just showed up on the very end.
Oh,
Okay.
look, it's our favorite
Now,
person.
again, if you watched it from the very start, obviously you didn't.
Nope.
Anybody in
welcome
this
back.
room will tell you we pretty much, again, presented this in an objective manner as possible. Now, the problem I see, and anybody else in this room will see, your statement is great. We have a large jealous white woman critiquing about hot, be nice dating guys. One, we're not criticizing anybody about dating nobody. Two, what does large have anything to do with the subject in mind?
Yep, sounds
Okay.
like that. Sounds like an Andy Omar ETP trash person themselves. Hey, what's going on?
Unfortunately, anybody in this room will agree with me somehow. Your
I think
statement
it's
is
the ETP,
construed well.
Andy Omar, Allo, all that bullshit
Okay.
group wrapped into one.
Again, you obviously came in here with a biased point of view and not knowing. You just basically step in and just state some random attacking statement. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Available.
Oh, you hit the truth nerve, huh?
And again, the very first statement she says, and she said it with so much
Truth, sweetie. I know that I'm big. I mean, come on.
Yeah, she did say, "Hey, I'm single." You know. So
I don't get why you and the other group. What I think is that I put my point out there and obviously urged you to make that actual statement. You're the one that came into our room to watch. Just remember that.
No. The truth did not hit on your nerves. It's just again somehow you're attacking for no reason.
No,
the same
I already
way.
know I'm big, sweetie. Obviously, you haven't presented yourself to me at any point.
Right, and Brand Solution says the fact that you're not banned makes me think they're open-minded.
Yeah, that's a bite me. We believe that you circle those
there
rooms and drama rooms. So
well, nobody gets big overnight. I got my belly from many delicious meals. Again, at our age,
it really doesn't matter. The only one that matters
you know,
at the end of the day is me and my husband, and not you. So
hey Heidi,
thank you for the comment.
Sarah says, "Hey Heidi."
I said bite me.
And Mr. Fluffy says, "You tell him, Heidi." And again, it doesn't matter who you are. What I mean, talking about your physical being. I mean, we're all old. Some of us has disabilities. Okay. Some of us, and I'm not disabled, but guess what? I'm getting bigger sideways. Just saying. So, and I'm an athletic guy. I always have been until recently. I think she chose to wear a cleavage shirt showing B cup C's, but more politely sorry A cup. So it gets the guys turned on. She could have had dressed more conservative. Baguio Dave says he moved her from her hometown with her daughter, paid off the bills, and fly her back. Reasonable in a breakup. Yeah. Brand Solution says the only thing that matters is what you see when you look in the mirror. And of course, my opinion, because I'm great, but I think you're beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. No, yeah, she is. She is beautiful.
George knows I have all the confidence in the world. I am a big, fluffy woman. I know my value. I know my worth. And it's funny how they think if they just say this word, we've been in the game for years. And, if I had like $1 for every time somebody has said something like that, they think it bends somebody. Or I'm going to sit around, oh, God, boo, he called me fat. He called my husband a puppet. That's not the way it works. You're the one in our room making the comments.
That's what we call schoolyard.
Yeah, and it's the same with those other channels. All those same guys go in those other serious gossip channels and talk about somebody's size or how short they are or how tall they are. And that's the entire lie. Well, it doesn't affect us in one mean or the other. Hey, Kiki.
Kiki says, wow, you guys still alive?
Yeah.
Manny C says, sex pat, cam up or go away.
Pretty much. And we said that to him before, and there was nobody in the messenger. So he won't. And it doesn't matter. We're not going to sit there and, in other words, you're talking about my appearance versus what we're actually doing wrong. This is what we actually do.
David Cardone says, who's a loser with no profile pic?
Correct.
Show your face, coward, making that kind of statement. And no, most of these guys, again, they don't really.
So he's had an account for a while, but he's a watcher. So that's what he is. He came into our room. So, okay.
Say my name until the city burns and the stars fade away and your scars don't hurt. Stay with me until the last man falls. I don't need them anyway. When I'm with you, I have it all. Oh, I'll never let you slip away. Oh, and you don't have to be afraid. I will hold you till the sun comes crashing down. I'm yours until the end of time.